Behind every business are its owners, and businesses can be owned in many different ways. In this film, we're going to have a look at how businesses are funded and run in the public sector. Most businesses in the UK are in the private sector, but these are all public sector organisations operating on our high streets and in our local communities. They are also all run directly or indirectly by the government. Dormers Wells Leisure Centre is an example of a local authority business within the public sector. For the last 30 years, it's been offering leisure activities and services to its local community, ranging from aqua aerobics to street dance classes. All of this is funded by the local council, Ealing Borough Council in West London.
Active Ealing is the part of Ealing Council that encourages and promotes sport and physical activity for people living in the borough. My team run sports centres and leisure centres directly. They run an athletics track and they run a big outreach programme, a sports development programme that encourages groups in the population that don't normally take part in sport to take up sport.
This means that the staff working in the centres are directly employed by Active Ealing, and the buildings are owned by the council too. Whilst private sector businesses need to raise investment in order to start and fund their business, local authority businesses are funded through a combination of public and private money.
The money to run a centre like Dormers Wells comes from three sources. There's first of all the money that the government gives to the council to help run local services. There's money that the council raises in the form of council tax, and there's also money that comes in through people paying to use the service. In fact, most of the money to run a centre like Dormers Wells comes from people that pay to come in.
With entry fees providing 88% of its funding, Dormers Wells needs to provide a pricing structure that encourages customers to come through the door.
One of our key target aims and objectives is to make sure that we cater for the entire local community. So we have to make sure that our prices are inclusive, so that people on low incomes, people that have got large families, maybe one parent families, can come and use the facilities to train and exercise on a regular basis.
The initial thing about Dormers Wells for me was the interest that they did a junior membership as well. I like the fact that it is council run and not a private posy place, so you don't feel conspicuous when you come.
Whilst privately operated centres are run on a profit-making basis, local authority-run centres work on a different set of values.
As local authority-run centres, our prices tend to be a bit lower than the private sector. You can come in and use our facilities on a membership basis.
Yeah, have you got a leisure pass?
No.
You haven't, that's £3 then?
So you can pay monthly, or you can just come in on a pay and play basis. And we also have discounts for people that are on low incomes. We also have other considerations like the council has a commitment to look after the environment, so we're keen to reduce energy costs, for example. A private operator might still want to reduce energy costs, but they want to do it to save money, to make their service cheaper to run, whereas we want to do it also because we're interested in the environment. In an area like Dormers Wells, we know the main ethnic minority groups, where they come from, so we would provide literature with some translation on it so that people are able to read it if they can't read English as a first language. We're trying to get more people involved in sport and physical activity, which is helping the council because a healthier population is obviously a good thing. It's also helping the government because it reduces health service costs. It helps to reduce crime in the borough. So, you know, the work we do is not just about people enjoying themselves, it's about making the borough generally a better place to live in. The way we ensure that it's available to the whole community is we have people like SEMA doing outreach work in the area.
The main areas are exercise referral, which is working with health professionals referring their clients to our sports centres so that they can become more active and reduce their risks of diseases such as obesity and diabetes. We work with teenage girls by providing a range of activities that they demand and don't usually receive as an activity programme within schools. We do things like kickboxing, street dance, self-defence. I see teenage girls coming in and being, no, I don't like doing exercise, and then not only taking street dance but actually joining the local netball team as well. That gives me great satisfaction.
Active Ealing has aims and objectives that it has to measure as accurately as possible.
We have things called performance indicators. They're set by the government, and for example, one of our performance indicators is visits per 1,000 population in the borough. There are all sorts of benefits for councils by being good or fair councils. They get more rewards from government in terms of grants.
We have to make sure that those income targets that we've got and the expenditure budgets that we're given are realistic, achievable and maintained.
I've always worked in the public sector and I enjoy that because I like the ethos of providing a public service which is quite different from being involved in a business which is just about making money for shareholders or for the business owner.